So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the X-E4, the X100 Mark VI, and the X-T5. Now, I thought it'd be really interesting to do a side-by-side comparison of these three cameras. These are all my cameras. I've bought these with my own money. This is not a sponsored video. So I thought it would be really interesting to look at the size comparisons and to help you decide which one of these you might think about buying. Let's start with the X-E4. So as you can see, this camera is super compact and yeah, I mean, it's quite featureless on the actual body itself. You do have this front dial here, and then that is about it. You've got your lens release there. So I currently have on here a TT Artisan 35mm f/0.95 lens, and there's a lot of glass there. It weighs quite a bit, but I think, well, for me, it works really well on this body, and got some beautiful pictures from this camera. Now, looking at the X100 Mark VI, this is something that's been on our travels quite a bit over the last, well, since it's been released really. And I've already reviewed this as my favorite travel camera, but the problem is I have all three of these Fuji cameras and I just really like using all three of them. And they all have kind of case use scenarios. It is of compact size, but obviously compared to the X-E4, it is a little bit bigger. Now, moving along to the X-T5, this one is I'd say this is my commercial camera out of all of these. So if I'm doing a travel or destination commission shoot, then this would be my favorite camera for that style of photography. I currently have on here, and this has actually stayed on here since I bought this. Now, this internally zooms, which I absolutely love because it doesn't change the size of that lens at all. And it is super smooth. And I've been really impressed with the quality of this and just the general sort of look and feel of it. It feels really premium as what it actually is as a kit lens. And yeah, so that is the 16 to 50mm lens on there, and obviously having the X-T5 with the quick switch for stills and movie. So on this switch here where my finger is, you can quickly switch between movie and still, and that is the easiest hybrid camera system out of all three of these. So that's why I would favor this more for commercial projects. So I can set up my movie profile and I can set up my still profile completely independently and just switch between those two, and that gets me into the correct settings almost immediately. Yeah, I mean, this is laid out like a traditional camera, and again, what I love about the Fuji cameras, all the dials are in the right place. So I've customized mine a little bit. I've put the half leather case on here, which I think works really well, and it just protects the base of the camera when you're out shooting and you put it down on a rough surface. Both these cameras, they don't have these are tilt screens rather than flip screens. So they're not going to flip out to the side, and they're not going to be your typical sort of like vlogging camera type thing. Now with the X-E4, we flip it up like that, and then that screen comes up above the top of the camera. So you then have a selfie screen. Now the other reason why I have all three of these cameras is that they all have viewfinders, and I do own a Ricoh GR3, but I do find it incredibly difficult to compose my images in bright sun. So all three of these have their viewfinders, and they're perfect for incredibly bright sunny days. So that works perfectly for me. On the X-E4 and on the X100 Mark VI, I do have the thumb grips. And again, I think I covered this in one of my other videos about the X100 Mark VI. I've gone over all the accessories that I've put on this camera. So I'll link that somewhere so you can go and check that out. And again, on the X-E4, we have the thumb grip on there, and I have put a soft release shutter button on there as well. The only thing I don't like about the X-E4 build-wise is the strap lugs on the side. So you would have to put a flat strap in here. You can use, things like the Peak Design anchors, but it means the camera sort of rolls forward like that rather than hangs straight like so. You see how the camera hangs like that? If you have the flat strap on here, it's fine, but I don't particularly like those type of straps. But if you just have the normal anchor, the camera will sort of roll forward and it feels a bit unbalanced. But yeah, that's just a minor thing that I don't like on the X-E4. And of course, you do have the hot shoe, so you can mount a flash on there if you require one. So if you have any questions about any of these three cameras, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer those where possible. They're all fantastic cameras. You can't go wrong with any one of these. Again, these two have the newer sensor, so these have the bigger sensor chips, so you're going to get much bigger files out of it. Files that come out of this camera are still incredibly beautiful. They all have the film simulations, and yeah, you just can't go wrong. But yeah, let me know in the comments below which one of these three cameras you're considering buying. I thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope it was useful. If it was, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing and ring that bell if you'd like to be notified of future videos. So until the next one, bye for now.